Got a few minutes left. Let's just wrap up some of the main stories, particularly in the Champions League. Mark Wilson endured Dortmund 7, his Old Cup Celtic 1. I mean, Mark, listen, it's been a brilliant start to the season for Celtic. You knew it was a big ask tonight to go to Dortmund, but how hard was that to watch?
Well, endurance is the word to describe that, what I went through watching it, never mind the players, but how do you describe it? I mean, a reality check, a sobering evening, probably for Celtic, but just probably realistic glimpse of the different levels between sides at the top tier in Europe compared to where Celtic are at this minute in time. That's what leads to scorelines like tonight. And Dortmund, very good side, very clinical, but I think when Brendan Rodgers analyses the game, he'll probably see the amount of mistakes his side made in possession. Now, that's unlike Celtic, obviously, domestically, because they have the large share of the ball and they usually make it count. But Dortmund just let them make their own mistakes, and as soon as they made a mistake, Dortmund pounced and they took their chances. And if I'm totally honest, 7-1, but I can count probably 4 or 5 times Kasper Schmeichel pulled off some decent saves. So it could have been a lot worse for Celtic. And I guess when Brendan Rodgers and this Celtic side go away from this game this evening, it's how do you learn from it? What do you do different when you go away to Atalanta? Do you change the shape? Do you change the way you play? So many short passes in their defensive third that led to Dortmund chances or goals. It was incredible. Never quite turned Dortmund at any time. And you just wonder if they learn their lesson going into the next round of the Champions League.
Mark, tough night for you, I know, but thank you very much indeed for your company tonight. Don't have nightmares. See you soon. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks,
a night
team.
to forget for Celtic. Somehow, 14 players in Super 6 went for 7-1 Dortmund tonight. 14 players. Wow. Correctly predicted that. No jackpot winners, though, in Super 6 tonight. Tim, let's have a quick word with you. Time is up against us. How good were Arsenal tonight?
Yeah, good. Very efficient. I think once they got their first goal, Trossard from the left-hand side crossed it. Kai Havertz in front of Donnarumma, the goalkeeper. He does it time and time again. Looks like a real number 9 now. You know, he looks like he's enjoying that position. And then Saka with another set-piece goal. Well drilled on the training pitch. It just shows you how important set-pieces can be with so many goals they've scored this season. They got out-possessioned, but possession gets you nowhere. They always look like they were in control of the game. Yeah, really, really impressed the way they saw the game out.
3 wins in a row for Arsenal. Southampton at home at the weekend before the international break. They are looking good, aren't they? And they have their first win in this season's Champions League, as do Manchester City after their opening draw against Inter Milan. Michael watched it for us. Michael, it was expected to be a cricket score, probably. It wasn't quite that, but how one-sided was this?
It could have been a cricket score. It really, really could. 28 shots, 76% possession. It was too easy. It really, really was. If they really wanted to turn the tempo up, they could have done. They had numerous opportunities, hitting the post 3 times. It was way too easy. Golfing football, I've not seen it for a long time in this. It was so hard for Slovan Bratislava. Bigger and better things will come for Manchester City. Fulham at the weekend. Next time out in the Champions League, Sparta Prague. This was just a stroll in the park, and they all cruised to a 4-0 win.
That's the 12th successive unbeaten away game in the Champions League, by the way, the most since City have been playing in the competition.
Man City player ratings versus Slovan Bratislava. About time, Phil Foden. England star rediscovers his best in Champions League beat-down player ratings Manchester City. Foden champions League Slovan Bratislava versus Manchester City, the reigning Premier League Player of the Year, has endured a quiet start to the campaign, but he's shown in Slovenia Man City player ratings versus Slovan Bratislava. About time, Phil Foden. England star rediscovers his best in Champions League beat-down player ratings Manchester City. Foden champions League Slovan Bratislava versus Manchester City, the reigning Premier League Player of the Year, has endured a quiet start to the campaign, but he's shown in Slovakia. Manchester City were in scintillating form as they claimed a 4-0 win over Slovan Bratislava in the Champions League on Tuesday. Jeremy Doku, Rico Lewis and Phil Foden were the stars of the show, with the English attacking midfielder particularly effective, with a goal and an assist. Ilkay Gundogan, Erling Haaland and James McAtee were also among the goals, as Belgian winger Doku caused havoc down on the right side, and Lewis impressed in offering plenty of support and energy for City. Beyond an early Scare from a Bratislava counter-attack, City easily asserted their dominance and took the lead just 8 minutes in, when a blocked shot fell for Gundogan to lash home thanks to a big deflection. Doku, whose cross helped create the opener, was at it again less than 10 minutes later when he got on the ball down the right wing and found Foden to send it into the bottom corner. City were flying and continued to test goalkeeper Dominik Takak, but the Slovakian side managed to keep the Premier League champions out until their defence handed a chance to Haaland just before the hour mark. The Norwegian striker had a quiet night overall, but made no mistake as the Bratislava backline opened up for him a pass from Lewis, and he made no mistake with the finish. Pep Guardiola's team kept cutting through their opponents and managed to find a fourth as Foden chipped to substitute mancity, who rolled it in for his first senior goal for the English Championship.